Hello everyone, Zane here and welcome to another Final Fantasy XIV video. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make millions of gil with your grand company. Now before we get any deeper into this video, I want to say this probably is going to be the second best way of making gil in my honest opinion. The reason why is because it's very accessible, anybody can do it and you can do it as soon as possible. Unlike the other methods where you have to go through most of the expansions just to be able to get to it. So my honest opinion, this is probably the second best, if not the best way of making gil because, like I said, it's so accessible. So before we begin, make sure you have a couple things already taken care of. Number one, having a free company. You can make your own and you can have a solo free company if you like. I'll make sure to link the video that I did about that in the description down below. And you're going to be using what is called the Seal Sweetener 2 buff. This is acquired after getting rank 8 in your free company, getting actions expansion, which allows you to get the rank 2 actions. The Seal Sweetener gives you 10% increase on Grand Company seals earned by fates, lead quests, Grand Company turn-ins, and the like. So this is definitely going to be helpful in giving you a crap ton of Grand Company seals that you need to make the gil. The other thing is getting second lieutenant in your grand company. That is going to give you the item that we're looking for to make the gil. The highest that you can go is storm captain, but that is through the squadron system and that takes a lot of time to get going, so your focus is second lieutenant. If you need help getting second lieutenant, I'll make sure to link the video for that. It's pretty lengthy, but it's going to help you get to your second lieutenant rank pretty quickly. Okay? So those are the two things that I recommend doing before doing this method. Also, I forgot to mention that this is a non-market board solo way of making gil, so there's no competition with other players. And you do not need a crafter or a gatherer to do this, but it is recommended that you do unlock them for extra seals. So the item that I'm talking about that I always sell to vendors for my grand company is the Duct bone. Something I talk about a lot, but not too many YouTubers talk about this themselves. These Duct bones are any item that sells for 360 gil from your grand company, which was used in the Realm Reborn main hand tools to upgrade, are now used for better crown pies, for spear bonding, and of course gil. You also can get these from lead quests in Mordona as a crafter and a gatherer. So these can stack up to 999, and if you get all 140 slots of your inventory filled with this, that's an easy 50 million gil. So this is something that you should be doing casually and not dedicating your time to it, because if you do it enough times, you will go crazy. So there are methods of getting these Duct bones through your grand company with different currencies. So we have your poetics, which is the most common currency that you're going to be using for grand company seals. If you're a PvPer, you have your wolf marks, and of course the trophy crystals by doing the series rewards. So as you do PvP, you'll get experience, and then as your series experience goes up, you will get these trophy crystals, which you can pass in for wolf collars to get wolf marks to pass in for gear, which I'll show you guys at the wolf pier a little bit later. And then you'll get 5,000 at rank 30, and then infinitely until the next series, you'll get 1,000 each time you level up. The other thing is, of course, the hunt currency. Allied seals, you're most likely are going to be using this for aetheryte tickets, so I would not use your allied seals for Grand Company turn-ins. Your centurio seals are going to be from Heavensward, Stormblood, and the nuts are going to be from Shadowbringers, Endwalker, and Dawn Trail. I definitely recommend joining the Faloop Discord. They will help you get the S rank that pop up through the servers on your data center. Right now the servers are kind of dead because most people are on breaks, so the S ranks do survive if you're trying to get to the other servers. So for your hunt currency, you're going to come back to Razadhan and you're going to come to the bar area. Just follow the left hallway or the right for the main aetheryte. You must unlock the hunt through your grand company at second lieutenant, which is another reason to get second lieutenant. Let the hunt begin should be the quest. You're going to first get the personal items. That's a one-time thing before you're going to spend your nuts on grand company turn-ins. So it's going to be the mount, the wings, the minion, and the music. That's going to be also from Shadowbringers to Dawntrail. After that is done, you're going to come to the Moonward exchange and go to accessories. You're going to get the rings because they're not unique, which means you get as many as you like. And then you're going to go for the corresponding job that you're on. Otherwise, if you're off job, you're going to get the stupid prompt. So for me, it's slang, so I'll be able to do this constantly without that prompt. And that is what you're going to use your nuts on until the aesthetic Tomestone gear becomes through nuts in a later patch. Also make sure that you do your weekly and your daily hunts as well for extra nuts when there's no S ranks or A rank trains running. So next is your centurio seals. Like the idiot that I am, I completely forgot about Stormblood and I was using them from Heaven's Ward items. So here in rhalgers Reach, right next to the hunt board, you'll find this NPC here. Just like before, you're going to go to the top list here, and then you go to accessories, and then find the rings of your corresponding job and get as many as you like. Now you can get Aetheryte tickets with your centurio seals in the Forgotten Knight and Heaven's Ward, but because allied seals are easier to get, you are going to be using those for your Aetheryte tickets instead. So just like before, make sure that you do your weekly B rank and of course your daily as well to get your centurio seals. Remember that Rememberborn and Heaven's Ward and some of the Stormblood A ranks are easy to do solo, except for the Minotaur and the Locks, which automatically kills you when it turns into a piggy. Other than that, everybody else should be easy to kill. So luckily for us, we had an S rank spawn here in Lakeland. So when you kill an S rank in Shadowbringers, or I think in Walker and Dawntrail, you get 100 sacks of nuts, poetics, and then 30 aesthetics, which is the current, at least one of the current tomestones in Dawntrail, and if you're lucky, crystals for materia of that expansion. If an S rank is killed, a double S rank has a chance to spawn, which will give you a whopping 400 sacks of nuts, and I think 200 or 300 poetics, and a crap ton more aesthetic tomestones. If you're in Dawntrail, then you'll also get heliometry tomestones as well, but it's very important that you do have full loop open at all times, just in case any S rank spawns, because they are valuable to kill. Alright, so now for your PvP wolf marks. Doesn't matter if you suck at PvP, still do PvP, because you get them regardless if you win or not. So here in the Wolf's Pier, which unlocks at level 30 from your Grand Company, come into the boat, and you'll find the 3 NPCs. So one behind me takes care of the trophy crystals. Under other, go to the bottom and pass in 1,000 for 1 wolf collar, or you can spend them on the Framer's Kit for your adventure plate. Come to the left NPC here, you get 4,000 wolf marks for 1 collar, which is not bad. Then talk to the right NPC here, go to the gear under the 12, and then go to the accessories. You only can have 1 of each because they're all unique. And then do the same thing for Disciples of Magic. Remember, only green, blue, and pink gear can get turned in to your Grand Company. So if you don't want to waste your wolf marks on inferior gear, you're going to come back after you spend these into your Grand Company. Or put them in your Chocobo saddle and then get more. Since you only can hold 1 of each in your inventory and 1 in your saddlebags, since your armory chest does count as the inventory. So that is what you guys use your wolf marks and your trophy crystals on. And now for your poetic tomestones. Now this should only be done if you have no other use for poetics. Your relics are done, all jobs are past level 90, so you don't have to use poetic tomestones anymore, and you have no other options to spend them on. So in Razanhan, the left hallway, talk to the NPC right behind me, go to the 660 option to get the augmented credendum gear set, or the accessories. You can do the shields for 170, but you only can hold 2 at one time, so you might have to do multiple trips, if you don't mind. So get the accessories because they're ununique, and get as many as you can for 280 poetics. And that is what you do with your poetic tomestones. Now you can get them through obviously doing your roulettes. High level dungeons, leveling. I don't know if trial gives you anymore, but I guess it depends on what you get. Main scenario, alliance, normal raids. I don't know if mentor gives it to you or not, and of course PvP will give it to you as well as doing the A ranks, the S ranks, the double S ranks. The Blue Mage Carnival will give you poetics once per week. You also have the societal tribe quests that you can do, but you must be the corresponding level to get those, and usually you can do at least 12 per day. Okay, so there's plenty of ways you get poetics. You also have Palace of the Dead, Heaven on High, Eureka Orthos, Eureka itself, and of course the Boja Southern Front. So there's a massive amount of ways of getting poetic tomestones. So next is your retainers. Now if you have your retainers leveled up and of course geared out, they can bring back random loot or gear from quick adventures, which ultimately unlocks as you level them up. So the better gear that they are wearing, the better stats, the better they have of coming back with something good. Or you can get junk like that. So go to Assigned Adventure, which unlocks I think at level 17 in the main city states. Go to Quick Exploration. It takes about an hour, and it takes 2 ventures for the cost. So the more retainers you got, the better chance of you getting good loot. Just like that. It will be randomized, so if you have good RNG, then good on you. If you get a venture coffer, there's a chance that you actually can get very expensive dyes. There's another piece of gear. And my final one gave me a piece of glamour, unfortunately. But that might give me a good price. Anyway, you'll be doing this constantly with your retainers if you're not getting materials for crafting and gathering. Use them for gear with quick adventures. Now, if you guys want something more direct, then you're going to be taking your strongest DPS and you're going to go into Alexander, which is unlocked after being the Heavensward main story quest and talking to Slowfix in Idleshire. You must get to the fist, cuff, and arm to get to the burden of the father. Go to the gear icon under the duty finder, unrestricted party, to go in alone at your highest item level and of course highest level, which is 100 on my samurai. And the highest item level I have is 716, which is a combination of 720 heliometry set and a little bit of the Arcadian, and of course the second extreme of Dawn Trail. So this allows me to go in at level 100 with my current power level. So you're going to be attacking one of the legs to attack the body, back to the legs, then back to the body. So he'll do his Mortal Revolution, which makes the time a little bit slower. I don't think you can defeat him before he does his Mortal Revolution, so this is kind of forced. And 34 seconds is my time. So you get a shielding, which goes for 47 gil apiece. You get a shaft, spring, pedal, bolt, shaft, crank, spring, bolt for your loot. These are tokens. It takes 4 springs and shafts for a body and legs, 2 cranks for an arm, 1 bolt for an accessory, and 2 pedals for a feet piece. They don't give you any headpieces. That is going to be in the eyes of the creator if you guys want all 4. But this is the fastest of them all. The other option, which is my favorite option, is going to be in Omega Raid doing the Sigma Scape Phantom Train. I can do this in about a minute 10, minute 8 if I'm really good with my crits, which is ultimately going to overtake Alexander at a later date when, of course, we get better gear, because the Phantom Train is a multi-directional boss, stationary, and nothing that he does will kill you, so you can easily do it even quicker, and of course, it will give you more Grand Company sales per turn-in. So the Omega ones will be in Rhalgers Reach, you can turn them in, or Kugane, and for Heavensward, it's either in Idleshire, or you can do it in Foundation for the tokens, which I'm going to be doing right now. So here in the city-states, from the previous expansions, we always get a representative of Arena. Just look for the blue sack icon on your minimap. So start off with tanks, prototype Gordian gear, and then you're going to pass in these tokens for a piece of gear, which I've already done. The body pieces and leg pieces must always be sold to a vendor and never turned into your Grand Company, because the Grand Company seals will never be better than the gil that you're going to get from selling outright. So you'll never get more duck bones to beat out the price. That also goes for the weapons. So accessories, feet pieces, hand pieces, and head pieces always sell to the Grand Company. Body, legs, and weapon always vendor for straight up gil. Okay, so that's what you're going to be doing with your tokens. So this is where the solo free company comes into play, because you'll be using your seal sweetener 2 buff to get 10% increase on your turn-ins. Expert deliveries unlocks as you get promoted in your Grand Company, and if you are a crafter and gatherer, you get to turn in items once per day for a good amount of experience, but also Grand Company seals. If it's starred, you get double the reward. If it's high quality for crafters, you get even more. So if you get a star, you get an increased amount of Grand Company seals. So for the credendum accessories, it's $19.95 alone. But if you get the buff, it's $21.95. And of course the gear itself will determine by the expansion and of course the dungeon that it came from. The moonward is $18.45 alone, but with the buff it's $20.30. The Alamigan accessories are $13.70, buffed is $15.07. The 12s accessory are $11.60, buffed they're $12.76. All of the Gordian sector is going to be $10.93, but with the buff it's $12.03. And that is going to be the difference in each of the pieces of gear. So when you have capped your 90,000 Grand Company seals, if possible, you're going to go to your quartermaster, go to the bottom section here under materials. All the way at the bottom you'll have your duck bones, but all these items here that will sell for 360 gil a piece for 600 Grand Company seals. So at 90,000 Grand Company seals, you should be able to get 150 of these items here. So let's go ahead and try to cap as much as possible. If you're about to cap, don't worry, they will stop you. If it is high quality, they'll ask you if you want to turn it in. High quality only gives you more free company credits. Alright, so you're just about to cap. Let's grab the duck bones. So it's going to be, like I said, 150 for the max 90,000 Grand Company seals. Now, it takes 6 times capping with 90,000 Grand Company seals to fill up one slot of your inventory with 999. Like I said earlier, if you can get all 140 slots filled, that's over 50 million gil. Alright, so now we can go ahead and pass these duck bones in for gil. Now it's 359,640 is the max for 999 duck bones. So I did this casually for the last month. So you can do this as hardcore as you like. Some people would say doing dungeons is a good option, but remember that you only are allowed 100 dungeons per day. Is an anti-bot measure, but raids and extreme trials do not count towards that cap. So keep that in mind. So we're walking away with 3,711,960 gil. So this is best done at level 100 because you're at your strongest at level cap, but you can do this as soon as possible as long as you can get the currency. Okay, so it takes some setting up to do, but it's probably the fastest, best way to make gil in this game. The other two options are Eureka, which is the third best way, and then of course the best way of doing it is with your submarines in your free company workshop, but that takes a lot to get started, but this is a lot faster and a lot sooner as well. So take your pick, but I definitely would go with this if you're trying to get a good mass amount of gil to get your house or whatever you desire. Okay, so hopefully this has been helpful. Don't forget to check out the rest of my channel for more Final Fantasy XIV content, and I will see you guys in the next one. Happy farming! And that's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you're new for more Final Fantasy XIV content and help with the YouTube algorithm. If you guys want to support my channel even further, consider becoming a YouTube member, Patreon supporter, or help me on Ko-Fi. The links for those will be in the description down below, as well as my Discord. And the extra special shout out to the members on screen. So until next time, if you ever walk in the glorious light of Lord Bahamut, and always remember to keep forging ahead.